Maddening. In this video, I want to give some noob tips on how to stop screen passes, well, to the running back anyway, how to stop slants, and how to stop drags. It's not a foolproof, this works every time, 100% of the time, but it definitely helps, and it gets the opponent that you're playing to think twice about running those plays. So I like to start off by just stopping running back screens. Now, I'm one of the simple things you could do is just man coverage, because if you have a guy manned up on the running back, such as a linebacker here, he's gonna run right to the running back who's going out to the slot, and he'll be there most of the time to make a play. But you can't always count on that, and sometimes you're running a zone. Like say you're doing a cover 3 sky here, and you've been covering deep, and maybe you've been doing some blitzing, so the guy you're playing against thinks, hey, I am going to run some screens, so I'm going to do a running back screen here. Now the thing you're going to notice here is that the screen, if the running back is split to the right or to the left, that's pretty much where the screen is going. You can see here, running back's on the right, screen is to the right. These ones are all down the middle here. When the running back is right behind the quarterback like that, they usually run the screen towards the side of the tight end, or where there's a slot guy, or both, a tight end and a slot, or a fullback, there's an extra guy there. So where they have it loaded, that's usually where they run it, but not all the time. When you have a double tight end up here, at triangle, it's hard to tell, because it could be either way. So you just got to, be on your toes. But generally, like we see here, it's to the tight end on the top. Here's a rare run with square, where it's going away from the fullback and the tight end. And then X again, it's to the side where the running back is split out. So what we're going to do is look at triangle here, because it's down the middle, and it could go to either way. As we see here, it's even on both sides, so the screen could go either way. So what I would do is I would pick the DT on the side I think it's going. And when he says hike, I'm not going to try to shed the block, make a power move or a finesse move. I'm just going to go forward a little bit, and then I'm going to drop to whichever side I see the running back go to, or wherever I see the lineman pull to, and I'm going to try to get underneath him. And I might, if I'm on the same side as the screen, I'll strafe over there. If I'm on the opposite side, I'll run over there and try to break up the play, intercept it, or make a tackle for a loss. But this works all the time for me. A lot of times I get the user to think twice and take a sack. Sometimes he tries to force it in there, and I just mess up the play for a loss or break it up. But I'll run it a couple times to show you what it's like on using either one of these guys here. So I'm on the same side of the screen. I come down, and then I strafe over, and I'm right there ready to make a play. I can't user the offense, so I can't throw the ball anyway. But it's real simple. I come in, and then I'm strafing across. Oh, that guy actually blocked me. That was different. But you can see how that works. I got mixed up in the line that time. Sometimes that's going to happen, but usually I come in, and then I work underneath, and I'm right there ready to make a play. I'll run that one more time with this guy. I'm right there. Okay, and now I'm going to be the guy on the opposite side. It's the same thing, because usually it's at least the center and guard, if not the whole center of the offensive line that pulls out. So, same thing. They're not even going to block me. I'm not going to chase the quarterback, because that's what they want. I'm like, oh crap, and then I run over, and I got blocked. Yeah, I'll just go out of bounds here. Sometimes that actually happens, but I'm like, oh, and I'll just chase the running back down, and both folks smart enough to get over there. Usually the play's over, that's why I just stopped where I was, because on a screen it's usually bang bang. but just get behind. And I got caught up on the thing, but it's real simple. That works for me 90% of the time when I'm playing. Just get right over there. I'm hitting strafe, but I guess the guy diving at my legs messed that up for me. I'll run that one more time so you can see how it is. Right there, ready for it. Will folks smart enough to read it too. But that's just a easy way to stop the running back screen. Now and then you're going to get one where the running back's on, like say, the right side of the screen, and he's going to cut over to the left for a screen pass on some plays and some playbooks. But you're not going to get that, you know, all the time. Now I'm going to do something to help with stopping slants and drags. Now this is going to work for both of them. I'm going to go to a 3-4 solid because it's even on both sides. It doesn't have linebackers shifted to one side or the defensive line shifted over one side. It's even on both sides. And I'm going to go with, let's see here, the cover 2 press, because I got a lot of yellow zones already set up. And then I'm going to go to a quick slants play here. Now this is a huge setup, so you got to be quick about it. It's a little more advanced, but something quick that's going to help you out is if you double tap triangle, it brings up all your defensive backs. If you double tap R1 or the right bumper, it brings up all your linebackers. If you double tap L1 or the left bumper, it brings up all your defensive linemen. And it makes it easy to do all your adjustments. So you can double tap triangle. Instead of going all the way over to Jonathan Joseph, I just hit square, put him in the hook zone, do it again, put Jackson in the hook zone, double tap R1. I can put my right outside linebacker into a hook zone. I can put my left outside into a curl flat. I can put my second middle linebacker into a curl flat. I hit triangle to go underneath. I double tap L1 to put my defensive end into a curl flat, and I do that after I cover over underneath, because if I didn't, he would go to a hard flat as well. This helps cover out, and if you wanted to just cover and have no run support and no blitzing whatsoever, you could do the same thing with your other defensive end. You could put him out in a cloud flat and even put your nose tackle into a quarterback spy or something like that. But basically here I have the curl flats because on drags, that's usually where you're going to get the drag open and get the most yards. You throw it out there, and then they make a move, they break a tackle, and they get some yardage. They at least pick up a few yards. And the corners going into a hook zone, they go right to where the slant is. They're following it already. And then you have a couple guys over the middle, so they're going to try to make the plays there as well. So I'm going to run this a couple times and do different things. But this is just like if you did a cover 2. The honey hole, is for the passing is going to be up here, right when you get past the corner and before you get to the safety. This area on both sides of the field are going to be an issue. But this, like I said, is when you think they are actually going to do a slant or drags. And usually when I see drags, I see double drags. So I'm going to actually do that right now. This might mess up coverage over the middle because there's so many people going over the middle. So this is just an experiment here. It might actually mess up the coverage, but just in case, I am going to put Wolfolk into a spy to have somebody else over the middle. Spies usually help on double drags because they bump into the crossing routes there. But I'm going to run this real quick as the offense. Usually I would use her a middle linebacker or something to help out with that coverage, but we'll see what happens here. But the drags did take Cushing out of the play, So I'm going to run that again without the drags, because usually he has that part of the field, as you can see, and that's usually where I would use her. So I'm going to run that again real quick. Oh, and you can see just how fast and easy something like this is set up. Now I know this takes a while, but this is just to give you a general idea of how to do something like this. Like, you can put your corners in a hook zone, and because of that, they're going to help with the slants. So you don't have to pick this exact formation, you don't have to pick this exact play, but you get an idea of how to stop the slant, and that you're going to need some underneath stuff to help with those drags as well. But if they do both, like I just showed, it is going to mess up the coverage over the middle, and if they have time to throw, which they're going to have with this play, then that middle of the field, I guess, is going to be open, because there's just too many people for the middle of the field to be covered by one or two guys. But anyway, without the double drags, I'll show you how well this will stop a slant. And I tried to force that in because neither one of them was open. I will go to the instant replay. Let's go to the main guy here, Edelman. We're going to see that all the way through there's somebody there. And then we'll rewind and we'll go to Hogan. The flats, they might have had something. No area, I guess right there. That's right where he might be open, but I think that's when I already decided, yeah, I'm already getting ready to throw, and Cushing is trying to jump it. So Cushing probably would have got over there if I tried to force it in that window. But very tiny windows. Now the flats, he's open, and of course it's Gronk, so that's probably a big play. You could say that is open as well, but like I said, this is stopping mainly the slants, and if they weren't doing slants, they were doing double drags, it would work as well. But like I said, the honey hole is up here, and I'm going to give an example of that right now. Let me get out of here. Alright, same play, except I'm going to do double drags. I'm going to put those guys on streaks. And now my setup. Yeah, it's just so quick and easy. But anyway, you're going to see how the drags are covered, but that honey hole against this cover 2 style, it's going to be wide open. It's going to be easy. So if we usually with drags, the user's going to be looking at the drag the whole way, so hopefully he doesn't see something like that. But you're going to see that these drags are pretty well covered, but if I threw that sooner, he was wide open. I was just taking my time so you could look at the drags here. And we'll look at the replay here. Let me get over to Gronk here. You see here that right there, I guess you could throw it to him, but two guys are going to get him, and that's like a yard or two. And we will rewind and get over to Bennett. And it's pretty much the same thing. If they make a play, it's only going to be for a couple yards. But the guy I threw to, you see how wide open he is? Right in that little area. If I threw it then, boom, easy. And I would imagine the same thing if I decided to go to this side. Wide open. The safeties might make a tackle, but that's wide open. But like I said, this is to help stop the short slants and drags. You can't cover 100% of the field 100% of the time. Just not going to happen. So in that play, maybe you'd want to use your a safety, because you know, hey, if this guy's smart, and he's not going to stare down at receiver, he's going to see that wide opening. But if he's not going deep anyway, that should help you. So anyway, don't necessarily feel like you have to do that exact setup. I'm just giving little tips on how you can change up your zones and everything you're doing. You could mix in man and zone if you wanted to, but slants and drags beat man, so the best thing to do is zones, and just mix up what you want to do. Another thing I like to do on drags is I will put the nose tackle into a spy, and what I'll do is I will, as soon as they say hike, is I back up and I bump into the guys dragging, and what will happen is either the user throws it into bad coverage because I just bumped the receiver and he's not going to be there to make the play, or it forces them to look somewhere else, and by that time they're running away from pressure, or they make a bad decision. Another thing is just to hit R1 and hit up on the right stick. Everybody's into a zone. You might want to base a line so that not everybody's zoning in the same area. And also hit triangle up, down on the right stick. Everybody covers underneath. We'll just do a quick example of how that works. We're doing, doing a double drag here again. Let's get these guys out of the field so it's not like a flood concept here. But you'll see how something as simple as that helps out. See, they're covered everywhere. It's just those honey holes I tell you about. So you don't have to do exactly what I'm saying, but just to give you ideas that change things up. You don't have to go with what the play says. There's not one play that you pick that, hey, this is going to stop it all the time. You're going to have to make your little adjustments. This has already been a long video. But anyway, thank you for watching. Take care. I think the best one is how easy it is to stop screens. If it's a screen play out of a 3-4 like this, I'll be the end instead of the nose tackle or the defensive end. And the same process. Just run in a few steps and then run out to the side that the screen is on. And then get ready to strafe, hold triangle to try to make the interception, or hold square to try to bat it down, or just get ready to deck that running back. You know, practice makes perfect, so practice it out. Again, thanks for watching, and take care. Whoops, wrong.